We live in a country that constantly sends this message. You can have it all. You should have it all. You deserve it all. But guess what? You can't afford it all. 44% of Americans in the age group of 18 to 34 feel like they're drowning in debt. If that doesn't break your heart, the next generation, adult 18 to 34, almost 1 in 2 say they're drowning in debt. They got really excited when that credit card application came in the mail, and they filled it out, and they actually sent them a plastic credit card that they could accrue debt on. And the average American is $6,000 in credit card debt. That means every month you're sending $50 to $100 to a bank that doesn't care anything about you. They're just making money off of you. And you're wasting $50 to $100 every month if your average debt is $6,000. And I've been there. I understand. It stinks. I felt so guilty when I had credit card debt. I hated living. Every time you buy something, you feel guilty because you have credit card debt. The proverb says, the borrower is a slave to the lender. Think about that. And I don't want anyone in our church to be a slave to the lender, the bank. I don't want our kids to grow up taking on debt because they want it now. They think they deserve it now. They don't understand how to be content. So how do we help our kids? How do we help ourselves? How do we be content? The book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 5. The writer says, keep your life free from the love of money. Be content with what you have. For God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. So what's the action we take? Love what you already have. Love what you already have. Give thanks for what God has already provided. Mainly that He's there for you whenever you need Him. You're in trouble? Stop and pray. He's there for you. Open up your body. He's there for you. Give thanks in all circumstances. If you want to be content, what do? Give thanks to God. Give thanks. One of the ways we give thanks to God is by giving cheerfully. It's a mindset. It really, truly is. It's a mindset. It's the conversation that goes on in our head to give thanks. But it's also an action that we take. When we give cheerfully, we're saying, thank you, God. Thank you for giving me all of this. And to honor you, I'm going to give you first fruits. I'm going to give you the first 10% and more, tithes and offerings, because it came from you. And I'm investing in His kingdom. That's what He wants us to do. And God never says you can't have better. God never says you can't have the best. He just doesn't want you to love it more than Him. If you want the top-of-the-line motorcycle, get the top-of-the-line motorcycle. You want the best boat out there, get the best boat out there. The best car, whatever. God doesn't say you can't do that. He just doesn't want you to love it more than you love Him. God is able to make all grace abound to you, and you'll be content in all things at all times, so you may abound in every good work. What God is saying to you is the more you give, the more He blesses you with contentment. I know that doesn't preach in the prosperity churches. The prosperity gospel, you might have heard of them, where they preach, sow the seed. If you invest $100 today, God will give you $1,000 tomorrow. I don't preach that because it's not truth. It's a lie. It says right here in the verse they use, they're just misinterpreting the verse. It actually says here that the more you give, the more He blesses you with grace, with contentment. And that's ultimately what you want. You don't want more money. You want contentment. That's the whole reason you're after this. You should be after it. It's because you want contentment. You want peace in your life.